Hello, everyone. Welcome to the HHW show. Where's your boy Ovi? I have no idea, but there he
I'm here.
is.
I'm here. I'm here. I don't know what happened.
I
You know
don't
what?
know.
It's one of those things, man, that I didn't master this. It's a new site, and every time it plays a little curveball on me, but it is what it is. I can't get my intro straight. I get nothing straight. And the old website, they wanted to charge double. And I was like, nah, man, we can't. You can't do that to the HHW show. You know what I mean? Especially when we do this for fun, entertainment, and just you know share our thoughts and everything else, and start this big old conversation.
Right?
Especially what's happening this Saturday
Mm.
for the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
are you trying to tell me something? Are you trying to tell me something? Are you already telling me your favorite right now? Oh, oh no, oh no, oh no. That's probably why you got his shirt on. But we'll talk about that later. Uh, Listen, this weekend is the Money in the Bank, and there's a certain superstar that's playing double duty because NXT is on against the AAA Lucha Libres.
Yeah,
That's going to be awesome.
the
And there's
worlds
a few
collide.
stars there that I've met in person here in Connecticut when they were part of the Northeast Wrestling and much, much more. But speaking about different promotions and stuff like that, I would like to visit the Wrestling with Character. They certified summer bona fide fun. It definitely lived up to its hype. Enzo Amore, which is known as now the real one, wrestled. He was the main event of this Sunday's match. Went against Liamo, which was breaking news by Mr. Kurt himself when we had him on the show. And it was an awesome match. And there were a lot of new people that showed up to the show and they were entertained. And a lot more kids showed up. And of course, you see the symbol there, the East Hartford Little League. They're the ones that were fundraising, and it was a success for them. And witnessing firsthand what wrestling with character does is they're there for the community, supporting the community, and we need a lot more of those because they've gone to different promotions, different leagues, different whatever it is that the program is trying to fundraise, they find a way to help them boost up their fundraiser. And Mr. Kurt, if you're listening in, I personally want to say thank you so much for what you do from the start to what you have developed now. It's phenomenal. And I hope you guys continue not only for the VFW Post 511, but everything else around the state of Connecticut. And who knows, Hector, if it gets bigger and bigger, you know, Vince McMahon back in the 70s, he went region to region to build up what was WWF and now WWE.
Hmm.
So imagine that. Imagine how the show will change because remind you that once you walk in, you're in wrestling with character,
Right.
right? They everything's live and you could get caught up in the moment. And that's why it's so special. And then of course an hour later, then the show starts and everything. And listen, the sound effects, the visual effects, the singing, the dancing, everything's there. And definitely audience participation. So I love it. So big shout out to Wrestling with Character. More to follow on that. But this week is Money in the Bank. And a few weeks ago, I have mentioned two people that are going to win the Money in the Bank. And I mentioned Carmelo Hayes was going to win. And I did say Roxanne Perez was going to win.
Correct.
Now, since I mentioned Money in the Bank, the initial part of Money in the Bank, till now, am I going to have the same picks? We're about to find out later on in the show. Okay. And let's see if it's true or not. Okay. But I'm going to start off with the takeaway because it's very important because it's going to lead into the Money in the Bank. Okay. And there are two things. And I put these quotes together, and this is something that I learned in wrestling with character. Practice harder, trust your talent. When someone is to tell you, Hector, practice harder and trust your talent, what does that mean to you?
You have to believe in yourself, what you're capable of being able to do, you know, and you always have to try to better yourself, you know what I'm saying, by practicing. Okay. The only way you're going to get better is by putting in the work. Okay. You just can't sit on the couch and expect to get better at something. You may be good at something, but in order to get better at it, you have to put in the work for it day in and day out. You have to see, where your strength is at. You got to see where your weaknesses are at, and and follow up with that. Because if not, how do you expect to get to the top? How do you expect to win championships? I mean, you look at sports all around, whether it be, WWE or MLB or MLB, whatever it is,
Mhm.
you have to be able to practice, 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 practice. We've done it in the military, how much training we've done because of to prepare for real war situations, right? But trusting your talent, believe in yourself, what you are capable of knowing to do, you know, and don't doubt that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's people gonna be out there that's gonna be better than you, of course. You know what I'm saying? But that's not for you to worry about. You need to worry about yourself and what you're capable of doing. What are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the team? Because you may be able to bring something that no one else can. We all have gifts and we all have talents. That's what makes us unique about each other. Okay. What you can do, I may not be able to do, but I can learn from that and vice versa with each other. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, you think about the parts of the body. Look at our hands, right? We have 5 different fingers, right? But each one has a different function. Each one has a different talent. Not one could do what the other one can. Okay, if they could, then what's the sense of all of them being the same? We're all different, and so, but yeah, practice makes perfect. It's like what they say.
I think it's best fitting, and like I said, leading into the Money in the Bank. But even before that, Karen Cross has been mentioning a lot of things. He's approached to AJ Styles, he's approached to Sami Zayn, right? But then on the background, on the backside of all this, on social media, Karen Cross voiced his opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and with the other voices backstage, and is able to lead from the front what everyone is saying, right? Like, we're giving other people an opportunity, except for the ones that have been working hard, getting their hands dirty, starting from the beginning, hitting the gym, hitting the practices. And then you got people like social media stars. And I know who he's targeting. He's targeting Logan Paul. And but
Right.
even though he says he don't hate him, but I got to respect Logan Paul for what he does. For one, he's internationally known. He has so many followers. He's done so many things. An entrepreneur, right? He's done so much, but yet people hate him or dislike him. And yet, when you see him in the ring, you think, oh my God, this guy's been a superstar for a long time. He has the charisma, he has the moves. He has put in so much work to perfect everything. But what about everybody else? Why don't they have the same work ethic as Logan Paul? Why is there a hate? Why are people being disgruntled because he's getting the spotlight now and not them? And it goes back to way back when Evolution started and what Triple H had said to Randy Orton and Batista. They're going to take him in. People are going to hate you. People are going to be haters and everything else. Don't worry about that. You do you. You follow our lead and you're going to succeed. I think that's exactly what's going on with Logan Paul. I
Yeah,
really do.
yeah, yeah. You're right. I mean, people don't like him. They hate this. They hate that what he's doing, but yet they're still intrigued. They're going to tune in to see what's next. What
Mhm.
is he going to say next? What is he going to do next? It's one of those things that he's bringing in the money. I hate to say it. He's bringing in the money. He's bringing the crowd. He's doing he knows what he can do. He's bringing his talent. He's trusting his
Mhm.
talent. The company's trusting his talent, and he's drawing that attention. Something that something that maybe Karrion Kross can't do.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean you still can't use Karrion Kross because you used them effectively in NXT. I think the man went undefeated in NXT. He was a force to be reckoned with, and all of a sudden now you can't find nothing to do with him. I mean, come on, creative talent, use your talent, trust your talent,
Mm-hmm.
and get back to the drawing board, get into that war room and figure out what can I do with this man. If it worked one way, we can do something similar to make it work again.
Absolutely. And going back to the quote, practice harder and trust your talent. Uh, you could tune into the HHW Show podcast because that is the quote that I resonated with me at Resonated with Character on Sunday. And a couple of superstars went on to mention that when you practice harder, and you said yourself, when you lose, you don't whine, you continue to work. When you
Mm-hmm.
go home, you pick yourself up and you practice harder. Then you
Mm-hmm.
practice harder than that. Every setback is just a setup for a stronger comeback.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you build character, and that's how you become a champion.
Yeah.
Trust in yourself, meaning trust your talent. You got the tools, the gift, the grit. So believe in yourself. Push through doubt, block the noise, and trust. Trust yourself, trust your talent, and you will succeed. Something that, even though John Cena is the heel, but I feel like in different languages that he is speaking, he's sending a message to Cody Rhodes. Sometimes you got to make decisions, hard decisions. And he paid the price because at the end, Cody Rhodes lost at WrestleMania to John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Did he learn his lesson? That was at stake right now. Did he learn his lesson? But on that note, could this be the first match of Money in the Bank? We have Logan Paul, John Cena tag teaming against Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso. Don't know if it's the first match or the last. Let's just say it's in the beginning. Let's just say it's in front before the men's Money in the Bank. Regardless, I feel like in this match, John Cena and Logan Paul are going to win. I believe they're going to win.
I have no disagreement there. Um, whether like you said, wherever this match falls, Cena and Paul wins this match. There's going to be some kind of outside interference. These two are not going to win straight up. There's no way that's going to happen. There's going to be some kind of outside interference. Um, that's the only way this is going to happen. That's the only way John Cena is going to continue to have a leg up on Cody Rhodes and continue to make a mockery of Jey Uso as a champion.
I had a philosophy here, or I had a theory about how Jey Uso ended up winning the Royal Rumble, and how Jey Uso and John Cena were the last two people standing, and Jey Uso won. And then the following month, the Elimination Chamber, you see John Cena with The Rock. And I'm like, what's going on here, right? We're trying to connect the dots. And then I'm like, well, this shit don't make sense now. Why is John Cena now attacking Jey Uso last month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just crazy how everything is all in a twist. If this is the last time for John Cena, why would it not be best fitting for him to be main event the Money in the Bank premium live event? And to the fact that the fact is this is that someone catches in the briefcase that night on Jey Uso and change it up. That will be the blessing of the WWE.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But who will be fitting to cash in on Jey Uso at the end like that? I don't see anybody on that.
Stay tuned.
I don't see anybody right now out of those six participants that will be able to cash in on Jey Uso Saturday night. Not if Gunther's going after this title come Monday. That's
Yeah,
just my
I know, but that's
theory.
the thing is, why not? Why not cause a lot of turbulence? Listen, Jey Uso to me is not one of the elite champions. I feel like it was that yeet movement similar to Daniel Bryan. But if I was to compare Daniel Bryan with Jey Uso, I'll pick Daniel Bryan more of a champion than Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Let me put this in perspective. How many times? Let me put this in perspective here. How many times have we seen Jey Uso run into the ring to help and get his ass whooped? Always on his back. What champion does that?
Well, John Cena is not coming in to help, and he's still getting put on his back
Just to win the matches that really counts.
again. Right. That's just I know we're talking about Jey Uso, but that's a whole different John
Mhm.
Cena we're looking at here. But yeah,
Right.
it's kind of watering down Jey Uso like this. You would think that his title reign is just going to come to a complete end here pretty soon. The way they making a mockery of him losing or getting beat up every single week, and then the face that he makes. I mean, why he squints his eyes and shows his teeth like, he can't talk on the mic anymore. Yeah, it's like every time you say something to him, you're embarrassing. I don't know.
I got 4 words.
I
I don't
got
know
two
what it
words. Goodbye. Good Lord.
is. Actually, in the dictionary is one word, but okay.
All right.
That has a hyphen between. Just saying. Yeah. Yeah. It's all right. You gotta do the between the good and the bye.
Sure. Why not?
Good bye. Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I don't know. This match to me is not even worth watching because we're not going to see any action. We're not going to see anything. This is going to be boring. John Cena walking around, he's not going to get any wrestling moves in. Cody Rhodes, his name's going to be chanted. We're not going to hear about yeeting. The only real athlete in this match is Logan Paul, to be honest with you. And I don't even like Logan Paul.
I
But
think this is best fitting for him just to show what he can do.
Yeah,
honestly.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you 100%. I really do.
I think he takes the brunt of the punishment just for John Cena to take the pin, to take the pin for the victory. But somebody's coming in to interfere, whether it be The Rock or whether it be
I don't think anyone's gonna really.
Somebody's coming in.
I don't think so. I don't think there's really, to be honest with you, if there's any teaser, maybe targeting Jey Uso. But again, that could happen at the end. If this is the main event, then I could see the target on Jey Uso only. But if it's like the first match to start off the show, then I really don't see anyone really getting involved. I don't. If anything, it'll be John Cena or okay, I tell you what. If someone else, it will be Travis Scott. That's it. I mean, who else is going to side with John Cena? Is The Rock going to show up? Probably not. Not on the Money in the Bank. It has no value. But then again, we are in LA.
Right.
We are in LA. So I have to like really remind myself that The Rock could show up. He might be in the neighborhood. We'll see. However, if it's the opening match, I don't see anyone happening. It could be 1, 2, 3. John Cena hits Cody Rhodes with the belt and Jey Uso, and then 1, 2, 3. I can see that. Could we see a conflict between Logan Paul and John Cena? Both competitive, both want to win. They seem like they have the same attitude, but when people are the same, they could clash too.
Yeah.
That's something else to think about because remember, Logan Paul had his hands on John Cena during the promo.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't suit well for John Cena. I'm just throwing it out there, or it could just been a whole lot of nothing. All right. But you know what? Something is bigger than all this is no wonder for the Women's Intercontinental Championship between Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. This one is a awesome story. Okay. Where Becky Lynch is supposed to be the role model and Valkyria is supposed to follow her footsteps. But somebody had to break that ice.
Mhm.
And Valkyria found her way to be true of herself. And thanks to Becky Lynch, we see the other side of Lyle Valkyria. If there's anything that she's thankful for, is Becky Lynch made her be who she is. She found her own identity. And
Mhm.
with that, I am choosing Lyle Valkyria to retain as the women's intercontinental champion.
I think for me, this was a difficult, match to pick because the stipulation is that Becky Lynch is saying that she wins, that Valkyria has to raise her hand in victory, you know. And so I'm going back and forth here. Valkyria finally has a voice. We're hearing her voice a lot every week. She's very aggressive. She cost Becky that triple threat match, qualifying match. I hate to say it, but I feel like Becky Lynch got a trick up her sleeve somehow, and she's going to wind up finding a way of winning this match to humble Lyra Valkyria here, just to prove a point to her. And so I think Becky Lynch is going to become the new Intercontinental Champion here. I hate to say it. As much as I like Valkyria, and she has a great run with this title, especially being the first woman Intercontinental Champion. This is not the end for her. Definitely not.
No,
But
no, but
I think to keep this going just a little bit longer, I think Becky wins this title.
there's more females out there stepping up, man.
I get it. I do. And we've seen a whole bunch of them in the Money in the Bank.
I would love Becky Lynch to win the United States title, but we don't have that.
I want Sheamus to win the Intercontinental title.
Man,
Come on,
Rusev
man.
is in the way.
Again.
Again. All
Jeez.
right. Let's get to the meaty gritty things on this, right? And let's start with the Money in the Bank women's match. 6 superstars. And again, I'm going back to what I've chosen before, but will I stick with my pick? We got Naomi, very psychotic, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Alexa Bliss, Stephanie Valkyr, and Roxanne Perez. Stephanie is the wild card of all this. Yeah, she's playing double duty on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa Bliss, she's eyeing really, really hard to the champion, Io Sky.
Yeah.
Is it Io Sky? Was it? No. I got that one wrong. It's not Io Sky. It's the other one. Tiffany Stratton. I'm sorry.
Tiffany.
Tiffany Stratton, right? And she has a lot of words to say about Tiffany Stratton. But then, what was that conversation she had with Charlotte Flair? Just saying. Naomi seems like she stepped up her game to be the favorite. Didn't you imagine? Can you imagine her holding on to that briefcase? She has more to gain on winning because she has issues with Tiffany Stratton. But then you got Rhea Ripley, which she's already a former champion a couple of times. Do we really want to see her go against Io Sky again? I don't know. Julia, she's new. She only has a couple of matches under her belt. Stephanie Valkyria, she already got one win on the main event on her debut to win and qualify. But then there is Roxanne Perez, which amongst all the rookies, she's been there the longest, and she lasted so long at the Royal Rumble. Will that benefit her for the Money in the Bank briefcase? Right. And the fact that her and Liv don't get along. But Finn Balor has a lot of faith for Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
Out of these 6 superstars, Hector, who you got?
I got Roxanne Perez. I think for me, in my opinion, it makes sense for her just to walk around with that briefcase to kind of just throw it in Liv Morgan's face, since, and I mean, yeah, Io Sky is going to be the target, but she's trying to poke the bear at Liv Morgan here. You see what I'm saying? And with that briefcase in her hand, there's just going to be a lot of friction, more friction going on in the Judgment Day. And Finn Balor is going to be on her side with this. And so Then I can see a scenario where if Akira isn't successful at World Collide, that she moves to the Raw roster, and what if her and Rhea Ripley go after the tag team titles?
You think they're gonna combine together for the tag team titles?
If Akira is not successful at World Collide on Saturday, yes, because
For
the
the
way they
tag team
should
titles, though.
to go after Liv and Raquel, yeah.
Hmm.
You see, I could see a scenario
Interesting,
that way. Yeah, that,
because Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan were former champions together.
right.
Ooh, that'll be a great storyline.
Because the way they shook hands and smiled at each other is like there's some kind of chemistry there. Either they can wreak havoc as a tag team,
Mhm.
or we're going to see one heck of a match between these two down the line.
Stephanie's been the champion wherever wrestling promo she's been in,
Yes,
and she is the first woman to have two belts, two belt champion at
in
NXT.
NXT, right? And
That,
she's a future WWE Women's Champion. Oh,
oh,
you could,
absolutely.
yeah.
That's what's crazy is that she's in this Money in the Bank briefcase. You know, like this match, like wow, and it only took her one match.
We see three women here that are the future of this business, and Julia, Roxanne, and Stephanie. These three women could be the next, Becky Lynch. They could be the next
Bailey,
Baileys. They could be,
mhm.
Rhea Ripley's, the next Rhea Ripley's. We are looking at them
The
right
four
now.
horsewoman, exactly.
And so
Yep.
why not put them in this match? Let's showcase their talent and entertain us, because we've already seen it at the NXT level. These three women were champions in the NXT level. Okay. And they took it by storm. And now it's time to elevate the next level against these pros, these, these women who's already been there, done that. These three other women who are already champions at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I like Roxanne in this one because I just like the storyline with the Judgment Day there. I just think that's going to be very, very interesting.
Well, I'm not going to change my pick because that was my original pick. I am taking Roxanne Perez to win this match. Now, Roxanne Perez is on Raw, and my other prediction is if a representative from Raw wins, the next Money in the Bank briefcase winner should be from SmackDown. And on that note, here are your six: LA Knight, Penta, Andrade, Silo Sikoa, Silo Sikoa, Solo Sikoa, excuse me. Oh my God. Seth Rollins. And what surprised me is El Gran Americano.
I do not like that.
Oh. I don't think there's not one person that said El Gran Americano will be one of the people in the Money in the Bank briefcase.
That look, you given Chad Gable two opportunities to get in, and that is not fair to the rest of the roster.
And he's playing double duty.
That's what that I do not like that. I do not like that whatsoever.
Wait a minute. That's not Chad Gable. That's El Gran Americano.
Okay. If I got a delete button, I would delete you, mute you, and just boot you out of here and do the show by myself.
That's not Chad Gable.
Oh my God. I'm done with you.
Yeah, that's what she said. Anyhow,
I got an
what's
eraser
intriguing?
right here. Erase you.
LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, probably the only two right now on SmackDown that will benefit of winning Money in the Bank briefcase. I get it. Andrade is there. If Andrade wins, let's say if Andrade wins, I think that will persuade Legado del Fantasma to side with him, with Humberto and Angel Garza, to like disengage with Santo Escobar.
Right.
But if that's not going to happen, I don't think Penta's going to win. I think Penta and Gran Americano probably canceled each other out.
Thank you. Yep.
But there are going to be some high flyers. You want that moment, right, and it's going to happen.
Definitely.
Seth freaking Rollins, on the other hand, he thinks he has this formula, this vision that's going to happen. The worst thing that he did was take out CM Punk from winning the qualifying match. And because of that, it's going to backfire. Once you think that he's going to get that briefcase, here comes CM Punk. It's going to happen. He will not win the Money in the Bank briefcase.
I agree with you, but I disagree with you. Seth Rollins is not winning it. You're right. But I don't think it's going to be because of Punk. I think it's going to be Roman Reigns. I think it's just too obvious that Punk is going to come out like he already has been doing Monday after Monday to disrupt the situation. I think you need somebody else, and it's going to be Roman Reigns to shock the world, to get Seth Rollins' attention, okay, away from that briefcase. We can see him up in that ladder about to grab that briefcase, and we hear Roman Reigns' music, and that's going to shock the world to get him off that ladder. That's just my opinion. Because with Punk and Sami Zayn, I just don't see them. They can probably intervene as far as making sure that Breakker and Bronson doesn't get involved. But you still need that third factor to get Rollins away from that briefcase. And that, to me, is just going to be Roman Reigns. That's just my opinion. And so that cancels Roman Reigns. That cancels Seth Rollins out for me. Andrade, I will give him that 1% to 2% chance because we've seen weirder things. We've seen Damian Sandow win the Money in the Bank. We've seen Otis win the Money in the Bank. People that you would never think to ever win this kind of competition, they actually did win it. But in this scenario, it's somebody that you can see as a future champion. And so with that,
if you're going to bring those bloopers like we saw when Otis won instead of AJ Styles when he fumbled it.
Yeah.
El Gran Americano fits that profile.
Yeah.
Well, it does. Honestly.
It does, but he doesn't fit in the championship story.
No. He can easily have a match, a briefcase match, suppose. You know what I mean?
Because he has nothing to do with Jey Uso whatsoever. His beef right now is with Penta and everybody else who has a mask on their face. Rey Fenix and everybody else. I mean, and Rey Mysterio whenever he ever comes back. So that right there, is out the question. Solo.
There's something off about Solo, man.
Karma is, what karma could be, right? I'm just saying. Solo's been a thorn in Jacob Fatu's side for quite some time.
You think Jacob Fatu will really do something?
Payback's a mother. What comes around goes around sometimes.
Okay, let me ask you this. Who you think is winning this match? Who's your pick?
Knight. Yeah. And I can see him holding that briefcase until the proper time is right to cash in. He can actually hold that title until John Cena actually leaves. Because I don't see him going after John Cena while John Cena is in his prime right now, doing his tour. He can actually hold on, wait till John Cena leaves, and see the vulnerability of the state of that title and where it's at to cash in.
Damn.
And by that time, we could see him turn back to heel.
Well, I was wrong. I was wrong. And again, my initial pick was Carmelo Hayes to win. Well, he had to qualify and he didn't.
Right.
So that kind of screwed up my prediction because he's my future star. And I guess he has that Andre the Giant curse, right? And we mentioned this before. You win it, not good things is gonna happen to you.
Right.
And he's already trying to disengage with the Miz. That's starting to be a factor. But out of these 6, I narrowed it down to LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Andrade. I don't think Solo Sikoa period is going to win. But by default, really, I have to really say, I have to agree with you that LA Knight is going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Because Andrade's only in there because of Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
Fatu had that match won.
Mm-hmm.
He had it won. But Solo wants to, bring his little antics into it, causing him the match. That's what I'm saying.
But wouldn't that be a factor too? That if let's say that was to happen, that the distraction on Solo Sikoa when it's time, that will leave Andrade to win the briefcase. That could possibly happen.
Well, it could be, but I mean that leaves LA Knight
For
and him
him,
all by
the,
himself. See,
the
because
luck is the luck.
Andrade and LA to me are the only two in this match that have no ties really with anybody to outside interfere them. Because Penta and Grande Americano,
I'm sorry,
is going to cancel
JC
themselves
Mateo.
He's gonna be canceled out by Jacob Fatu if it all comes down to it. Fatu is not going to allow that to happen because he already seen how he's gotten screwed over. He's not going to allow JC to help Solo win this match. If I can't be in the match, why should I let you win the match? You see, so there's a lot of variables here of outside interferences that leaves Andrade and LA all by themselves. Because Penta's going to take out Chad Gable in this match. He's taking him out. He's going to take him out.
This is hard.
It just to me, and we both agree that SmackDown's winning the title, so it's going to come down to one of them too. And I think it's LA Knight. I think LA benefits from that briefcase because he got such of a mic skills, okay, and he's such of a people person. He's got the crowd on his side, and walking around with that briefcase will make so much sense that now he has opportunities. Okay, for what, a whole calendar year, right, or something like that. He's got to hold on to that briefcase. He
got to the following June 6th of 2026.
So he got time to play out the scenarios and see what happens with everybody.
Yep,
I would do that. Let John Cena walk away with the title if he says that's what he's going to do. Let's see how Jey Uso matches up with Gunther. If Gunther wins that title again. Where is my cards at? I hold the cards in my hand with that briefcase.
However, just because he wins on SmackDown, he could choose either or. He could also transition to Raw.
Yeah.
So, and then that will build him more of a character because he could go feud with Seth Rollins and that crew. He could feud with the Judgment Day. There's a lot of characters over there on Raw that he could go against.
Yeah.
So
and he can right. And I'm sure he got a lot of allies too. He'll gain some allies over there too.
Yeah.
So
that is very interesting. Very, very interesting to see how this will unfold. But the point is that when will what is the order of these matches?
Right.
That's something they don't tell you. And it's going to factor in like, okay, let's say if the Money in the Bank men's match is the first one, we've never seen that.
Right.
It's always main evented the show. But does John Cena trump everybody? Not to use the word Trump like that, but would he go ahead and say, I am the main event? And Jey Uso might be in danger of losing that title, despite that he is scheduled to fight Gunther on Monday Night Raw for the World Heavyweight Championship. That could change. The new champion faces Gunther regardless. I mean, we've seen it even back then with Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas, and we were supposed to see Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield. This was supposed to be an easy match, and all of a sudden, Buster Douglas came out of nowhere and shocked the whole world by knocking him out. It could happen. For those of you that don't, that was boxing that I was talking about in the 90s, but okay.
Yep.
But other than that, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this will unfold because what I had thought was an easy pick is not easy no more.
That's true. I could be completely wrong. The LA Knight just gonna get knocked out of this, but
yeah, you're wrong. I'm wrong with you. So I think the only differences we have really is the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Mm,
Interesting.
very. What do you think? What are our listeners thinking right now? Who are they choosing? I can't wait to see the polls on Twitter, Facebook, and of course, you could tune in to us on our hhwshow.com, our website. And once again, hey, pass it along. Share your thoughts, leave a message on your YouTube channel or Facebook. Let us know who you think is winning on the men's and women's Money in the Bank briefcase. We got that and much, much more next week. We'll go ahead and have our post reaction. Plus, we're getting ready for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Damn, it's gonna be at MetLife Stadium.
2-night event.
2-night event. Oh, this, and you know what? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And if it's not, I know you mentioned Roman Reigns, but what if not? What if Roman Reigns is waited for SummerSlam? He did that last time during COVID, remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they had payback,
Yeah.
and then he won the title, and he went with it all the way through. So,
Yeah.
so much more on this. And of course, listen, once again, you're tuning in to the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show. Follow us on Facebook and YouTube and our website, hhwshow.com. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Gotta love some wrestling.
Yeah. Let me talk to you.
Yeah, we'll be talking, all right. Laters.
Peace. And chicken grease
Yeah.
or not.
I don't know.
The French fries.